Taxi Driver, directed by Jang Hoon. So the movie starts out in Seoul, South Korea, and a taxi driver named Kim Man-sub is like, I'm tired of these protesting lemon legs blocking the road and protesting today, so I'm gonna pack my car up and drive the other way. And when Man-sub gets back to his house, his daughter In-jung is there by herself because her mother passed away of a sickness. And it turns out that he's 4 months behind in rent and owns 100,000 won, which is about $91. And meanwhile, a reporter named Jurgen Hintz Peter is looking for a hot story in Japan. And he catches some booty wind about martial law being declared in South Korea, and about reporters not being able to get out or in. So Peter gets the Seoul to check that Jane out and trick the airport folk into thinking that he's in the missionary position. I mean that he's a missionary. He gets the Seoul, and the man warns him that a city named Gwangju has been shut down by the militaristic government due to protests to change the government to democracy. But ain't no reporters can get in to tell the world what be happening, and then reporters are banned from Gwangju and end up getting caught by the militaristic government there. But Peter's like, I'll do it anyway, you super looper cripple link. Then Man-sub hears that a German is paying 100 won and needs a ride to Gwangju. So he takes some other driver's ride and picks up Peter, not knowing the full situation. On the way to Gwangju, they have more trouble getting in than trying to put a cup in the cup holder while you're at the movie theater, all because of the Masaka Army Bop Bops. Thinking about his daughter and realizing the dangerous situation, Man-sub negotiates half the fare of 50,000 won, and they get into the deserted Gwangju. On the street, they meet the university protesters volunteering at their hospital, and Peter goes with them to get that story of why they all got ketchup on their faces. Man-sub, though, starts to follow them, but acts like a butt and turns around. But there's an old lady in the street, and at first he passes her, but then he decides to pick her up. And she needs to get to the hospital to confirm that her son's life isn't in the heavens. And when he gets to the hospital, he sees the devastation caused by the government on the people of Gwangju. And the old lady's son is okay, but Peter's all mad because Man-sub left without him, with his camera bag still inside the taxi cab. This causes a scufflemuffin, and is settled by a peaceful taxi driver named Hwang Tae-sul, who sees that he wouldn't try to screw over Peter because he doesn't have all the fare money. So Man-sub gives up all the fare money, and they continue on their way with the addition of an English-speaking university student named Jae-sik. Once they get to the main city of Gwangju, the martial law soldiers start to attack the citizens, and Peter gets down there to get that evidence of the turmoil. But then they're noticed by the vicious military officiants, who believe all of the protesters are communists, and they barely get away from the dangerous soldiers. They meet up with the taxi drivers of Gwangju after their car breaks down, and the taxi drivers offer their parts to Man-sub and Peter to make sure that the evidence of the cruel soldiers get out to the world. But then the government finds out about Peter being a reporter from Germany, and they send out mamma jammers to find them and take him out. And later that night, they get caught up by the military government Civi's leader, and Jae-sik is caught and sacrifices himself so that Man-sub and Peter can get away. Having not been able to contact his daughter the next morning, Man-sub leaves Gwangju to make sure that she's alright. And Peter sends him the money anyway, because he found out that he has a daughter to take care of. But while Man-sub was at another city, he thinks about all the turmoil and injustice that was being caused by the Gwangju government. And then Man-sub decides to go back to get Peter out of Gwangju to make sure that the world knows about the atrocity of the Gwangju massacre. When he gets there though, he finds out that the military have already taken Jae-sik's life, and with new motivation, Peter and Man-sub get harder evidence of the military taking out the citizens. And so with all the footage they need, Man-sub and Peter escape to Seoul while being chased by the military. And at the airport, Peter asks for Man-sub's number, but out of fear, he gives him the number of a cigarette company under the name Kim Sa-buk. And so the truth of Gwangju finally gets out. And years later, Peter comes back to Korea to receive an award and also look for his friend who helped him. And as Kim Man-sub sees Peter in the newspaper, he drives on as a nameless hero who bravely and triumphantly helped reveal the truth of Gwangju, South Korea. The end.
only just a teen with